Hi guys, this is Talking Blue. I'm here with Matthew Mooney. I'm Luke Langella, and it's been a very good week in New York, Matthew. I don't know about you, but I am really excited for next season. I can't wait. Some big moves by Joe Shane and Brian Dable. So we're going to tell you about a few, the big ones. You have Darren Waller, been huge for a pick that we didn't even have. Matthew, talk us through that whole trade and how are you feeling? Because I know I'm just excited to see what he can do in this New York offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a great move to make. I never really saw this coming before the offseason. I remember CBS posted on Instagram a few blockbuster trades that should happen this offseason, and one of them happened to be Darren Waller coming to the Giants. And that draft pick we had was what we got in return for Kadarius Toney, and we basically just traded Kadarius Toney away for Darren Waller.
And we still have a 6th-round pick, and I think Darren Waller is a lot better than Kadarius Toney.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think Joe Shane and Brian Dable have done an excellent job with the Giants. First off, last week the Saquon and Daniel Jones contracts, they executed it perfectly. So I'm just going to give a rundown of who we have. So Nick Gates, Julian Love just left today. Those guys are gone, and I think we talked about Julian Love last week, but it was his time to go. And I think on the financial part of it, we don't want to have to give him money, and we look at the depth. Like we have Pinnock, we have Dane Belton, those are some talented guys. Wouldn't you agree with that, Matthew? We could groom them.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this a lot in the past. I like Julian Love. I say he's not as good as a lot of Giants fans say he is. Here's the thing. I'm sad he's gone, but honestly, Dane Belton's better, and he's the strong safety.
Yeah, and I think what Joe Shane and Brian Dable are executing perfectly is getting rid of all those Dave Gettleman, Jared Reese guys that just they weren't great. And now, we're not shopping for minimum players, so let's talk about some of the players. We have Nunez Roches, known as Nacho, in New York, and people look at him, they're like, oh, he's going to be death. But Leonard Williams only had 1.5 sacks last year, had a really disappointing year. And I bring in Nunez Roches, 33 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. That's pretty good for an interior defensive lineman. So we could definitely see him playing a lot next year. He's not going to be just a depth guy. He will play next year. And then now we have our starting middle linebacker, and I was just so excited. 4 years, $40 million, half of it's guaranteed. Oriarki, Indianapolis Colts. And we were talking, Joe Shane was talking about how, when he played against the Giants, 17 tackles, that's pretty good. 17 tackles is pretty freaking good. He held Saquon Barkley to 2 catches for -5 yards. That's pretty good, too. He had a monster game against the New York Giants in a game that the Giants killed them. So they definitely caught his eye, and he was a big guy. We obviously brought in Campbell. We re-signed Slayton and Jahad Ward. So, Matthew, talk a little about some of those guys and some of the guys you're excited about.
Obviously, Okereke, that's other than Darren Waller, that's the thing I'm most excited about. I didn't really know anything about him before the Giants picked him up, but I read his stats and I saw film. I watched his film right after the Giants signed him, and I was like, okay, this guy's gonna be good.
He's had a ton of tackles, and it was over 200 in the last 2 seasons. He's a crazy tackler. He gets tackles. He had a decent amount of tackles for loss. No sacks this season, but I don't know if anyone watched his interview, but they said, I'm excited. He said, I'm excited to blitz right at the middle. So we should be seeing him getting those sacks this season.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
And I was watching his interview and Darren Waller, and they just seem like great guys. So, Darren Waller, let's talk a little about the offense dynamic now, where these pieces fit in. So I think bringing Darius Slayton in was big. I think it's big. I think he's been such a consistent good guy for us his whole career. And I think leaving him there is letting him set the tone for a receiver core. I think it's a great idea keeping him. And then you have now Darren Waller that could complement Daniel Bellinger, more of a blocking kind of red zone tight end. And then you got Darren Waller who could literally do it all. He had a rough few years with the injuries, but he's had 2 1,000-yard seasons. Giants have had one tight end that had a 1,000-yard season, Mark Bavaro, years ago. So it's been a while since we've had a 1,000-yard tight end. And Paris Campbell, 600 receiving yards, but he has a lot of upside to him. He's been really performing well at last year, and he's looking to turn it on this year. And then Matt Breida, of course, helping that running back room, and a great depth to have behind Saquon. So, Matthew, take us through that a little bit. Take us what you're excited about to see some of these guys playing the New York Giants offense with Mike Kafka and Brian Dable as just great coaches and knows how to put the guys in the right places.
Yeah, I think Darren Waller's obviously, I know I said this earlier, but he's definitely like the big thing the Giants got. And yeah, I think he can really do it all, like you said earlier. I think in my book, he's a top 5 tight end. I think
in my book, I rate him the 3rd best tight end in the league. And here's why. Because Mark Andrews, more of a red zone tight end. But when you look at Darren Waller's skill set, Darren Waller is much more capable of a tight end than him. And you look at the tight ends these days, they're not like they're not like Mark Bavaro's anymore. They're not these big just receiving. A tight end has to be able to play in the slot well. I've even found clips, I posted them on our YouTube channel, of Darren Waller playing on the outside. He can literally do it all. He is going to be great. And he just seems like a great guy from the interviews Giants have had with him. I'm excited.
Yeah, same. I think he's currently on my list. I know you said he's 3rd. I think he's 4th in between Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, it's definitely debatable.
I have Kelsey 1, Kittle 2, Andrews 3, which I just said, and then, the rest.
Let's go on the defensive side of the ball. So we look at Workey, Nunez, Roches. I really think those guys could really bring something to our defense. Am I right?
Yeah, I think Nunez Roches is going to be good. I don't think he's going to be a star, but I think now we're going to have like a 3-4 defense. Like, you know what I mean by that? Like 3 defensive linemen.
Really solid. He can be a really solid defender. He's played it. He's very playoff experienced. I think that's another reason he's here. He's played in the Super Bowl before. He knows how to play in the playoffs. So I think that's another reason. And I've been seeing these rumors. I'm going to ask you, Isaiah McKenzie. He's only 5'8", coming off a decent year. You want to bring him to New York after this receiving core?
I would consider it.
He knows the system.
That's actually they should do that. Actually, bring him in, and I think.
But he is another guy that's under 6 feet, and we do have a lot of those.
Yeah, I think we do need like a taller, bigger body receiver.
Yeah, and I think that for the draft will come into play.
Yeah.
Harris, though, people don't realize he's coming off a really nice season. For a guy that had to play on the Indianapolis Colts, how many quarterback changes, how bad they were last year. He had 623 yards and a modest 3 to 4. I think it was either 3 or 4 touchdowns, which that's good for a guy that you look at his roster. It was not pretty, So he was their number 3 receiver, and I think he could be the number 3 receiver for the Giants. I'm really excited to see him in a New York Giants uniform.
Yeah, Sam, at the Giants Colts game this year, I was there, and he made a huge catch in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah. So let's. I actually wanted to mention something. Matthew and I had launched our TikTok page. It's Talking Blue 5. It is our TikTok page, and it's very informative. We post first about everything. You know us. When we get the updates, we post them. So we just wanted to say, everyone go follow at it. We put it in our, if you check out YouTube, there's a screenshot of it. You could go to the account, go check it out. It's great. And please keep on subscribing and liking. I think, today's going to be a shorter video. Any closing statements, Matthew?
I'm excited for the season. But, I think Paris Campbell, I know you just said, I think he's going to be a dynamic receiver. I wonder if he could fit into the wide receiver 1 role. I'm hoping at some point this offseason via, either free agency, draft, or, possibly even a trade. I don't really care how.
Yeah.
But, hopefully
I think it's going to be exciting next few weeks. I really do. And I think I'm just like Anthony Matthew. I want to be back sitting in my seat at MetLife Stadium watching the Giants win some big games.
I just want to go to so many Giants games this year. I was at 2 last year. I want to go to more this year, definitely. I'm going to go to every preseason game. I'm going to go to FanFest.
We'll be filming all the content. So you guys just keep on checking out the TikTok, the YouTube. We'll post everything. We're really excited, Matthew. That's it from me. Go Big Blue, Matthew. Anything?
That's really it. I'm excited for the next few weeks, and I think the Giants are having a really good offseason, made a lot of good moves. So go follow the TikTok. Go look at the announcements. We showed a screenshot of it, and like, comment, subscribe, share this video with some people, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Let's go Giants.